systems would progress. But the use of informal agencies was unreliable at times and was also inconvenient when cross-border remittances were involved. Each year, hundreds of billions of dollars worth of transactions are carried out worldwide through banks, post offices, or remittance companies. For migrant workers, remittance has become the most practical way to help their family back home. But it still lacks efficiency. The process can be slow, and people may face a remittance super tax. Out of regular working hours, remittances may be delayed, making it impossible to meet the immediate needs of their family in their home country. New technology is changing all this. Blockchain already supports B2B money transfers, but ordinary users are still unable to benefit from this technology. Today, Alipay has crossed this threshold.
Lovely afternoon to our lovely audience. I will be your host for today. My name is DJ Chacha. I hope you guys are doing all okay. Are you guys okay? Yeah. Ako, teka, parang nabusog kayo dun sa labas. Busog po ba? Yep. Hindi masyado. Anyway, good afternoon once again. I will be here until the end of the show. Mula po ako sa MOR 101.9 in DZMM. And today is a very exciting day for our fellow Filipinos working in Hong Kong and to their families living here in the Philippines. Sino po ba dito, matanong ko lang, ang may mga pamilya sa Hong Kong? Pwede po ba natin itaas ang ating mga kamay? Ayan, medyo madami. Oo. At alam naman po natin kung gaano kahirap at gaano kahaba ang pila sa mga remittance centers na ginagawa every now and then ng ating mga OFWs sa tuwing nagpapadala po sila ng pera sa mga pamilya nila dito sa Pilipinas. And now, Alipay and Gcash is making life easy for OFWs and their families here in the Philippines. Palakpakan po muna natin ang Gcash and Alipay. Sa mga hindi po nakakaalam, ano? At hindi pa nasusubukan gumamit ng Gcash. If you haven't tried it, ako po kasi sobrang addict ako sa Gcash. As in, every now and then, sobrang nagbubook ako ng movies via Gcash. You don't have to fall in line, di ba? Madali lang, pagdating mo sa movie house, present mo lang yung QR code, and diretso, papasok ka na sa movie house. At ngayon, hindi na lang natin sa mga movie house at shopping centers magagamit ang Gcash. Even sa pagpapadala ng pera, pupwede na. And to tell us more about this very exciting collaboration of Gcash and Alipay, let us call in the Mint CEO, Mr. Anthony Thomas.
Mabuhay. Miles apart, but close at heart. This best describes the reality of our OFW families. Here, we call our OFWs modern-day heroes in recognition of their sacrifices for their loved ones and their contribution to the economy. Imagine being miles away from your loved ones in order to provide them a better future. This is why I personally have a strong admiration for our OFWs and their families. In Hong Kong alone, we have more than 180,000 OFWs. According to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, remittances from Hong Kong now stand at $735 million in 2017. The bulk of cash remittances in 2017 came from the United States, the Middle East, Singapore, Japan, and Hong Kong. We cannot underscore enough the contribution of our OFWs and the hardship they endure for their families. Many of you know Gcash can be used to buy prepaid load, pay bills, send money, make donations, shop online, and even purchase goods without the need for cash. Imagine a regular day when everything you need can be done with your mobile phone, starting from receiving your salary or even your remittances, to buying, load and paying bills, but also transportation, meals, entertainment and leisure. Everything can be cashless. I think we are beginning to realize this vision in the Philippines. Later today, we will see how convenient it is to receive remittances from Hong Kong through your Gcash wallet. Planning to receive remittance from your loved ones in Hong Kong? I-Gcash mo na yan. Thank you to all our media partners and guests who are here with us today. Welcome to the launch of this first-in-world remittance innovation, which we hope will make life easier for our OFWs in Hong Kong and their families here. Thank you for coming.
All right, thank you so much once again, Mr. Anthony Thomas. And to explain us furthermore about this very, very exciting news from Alipay and Gcash, we have a live stream happening now in Hong Kong.
国际汇款发布会，我是今天主持人，来自香港凤凰卫视节目主持人江生阳。那今天的 press conference, today's press conference is presented to you by Ant Financial, Alipay Hong Kong, and Gcash with partnering bank Standard. 今天我们来到现场的几位重量级嘉宾。First, I'd like to introduce our many distinguished guests who are here today. Mr. Paul Chan, the Financial Secretary of the Hong Kong SAR Government. 香港特区财政司司长陈茂波先生。Mr. Melchor T. Plavasan, Head of Core IT Supervision Group of the BSP's Financial Supervision Sector. 菲律宾中央银行核心资讯技术专家组主管 Melchor T. Plavasan 先生，欢迎你 ，Welcome. Mr. Jack Ma, Founder and Executive Chairman of Alibaba Group. 阿里巴巴集团主要创办人以及董事局主席马云先生。Mr. Eric G, Executive Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Ant Financial. 蚂蚁金服集团董事长兼首席执行官靳贤栋先生。Mr. Douglas L. Fagan, President of International Business of Ant Financial. 蚂蚁金服国际事业群总裁 Douglas L. Fagan 先生。Mr. Cheng Li, CTO and International Business Groups of COO of Ant Financial. 蚂蚁金服集团首席技术官蚂蚁金服国际事业群首席运营官陈立先生。Mr. Kenny Fok, CK Hutchinson Group Co-Managing Director and Chairman of Alipay Payment Services Hong Kong Limited. 长嘉和记实业集团联席董事总经理 Alipay Payment Services Hong Kong Limited 董事局主席霍建宁先生。Mr. Frank John Sixt, Group Finance Director and Deputy Managing Director CK Hutchinson. 长嘉和记实业集团财务董事兼副董事总经理杜法兰先生。Ms. Jennifer Tan, CEO of Alipay Payment Services Hong Kong Limited. Alipay Payment Services Hong Kong Limited 行政总裁陈婉珍女士。Mr. Jaime Augusto Zubel de Ayala of Ayala Chairman and CEO. Ayala 主席兼行政总裁 Jaime Augusto Zubel de Ayala 先生 ，Welcome. Mr. Ernest L. Koo, President and CEO of Globe Telecom, Founder of Gcash. Globe Telecom 主席兼行政总裁 Gcash 创办人 Ernest L. Koo。渣打银行集团首席资讯科技总监高立子先生 ，Mr. Michael Gores, Group Chief Information Officer and of the Standard Chartered Bank。渣打银行交易银行部全球总裁罗丽莎女士 ，Miss Lisa Robbins, Global Head of Transaction Banking, Standard Chartered Bank. Welcome for being here today. And I also like to welcome everybody from the press for being here to bear witness this historic event, this historic day where technology will enhance financial inclusion. Now here, I'd like to take this opportunity to let everybody know that at the same time we're holding this press conference here, miles apart, but not so far, and very close to our heart, in the Philippines, in Manila, we're holding the exact same conference with the exact same theme, and we have just uplinked with them, and they will be hearing, listening, and seeing everything we are doing here today. Now, to kickstart our event today, I'd first like to introduce the Financial Secretary of the Hong Kong SAR government, Mr. Paul Chan, to come up on stage and deliver a speech. Please welcome Mr. Paul Chan.
Hong Kong is the international financial center in Asia, and it is most fitting that Ant Financial has chosen to kick off this pilot project right here. While we take pride in Hong Kong's robust and effective financial regulatory regime that is well in line with international standards, our financial regulators are doing their part to facilitate and foster innovations in the industry. With their dedicated liaison platforms and sandboxes, our financial regulators are allowing financial services providers to conduct pilot trials on fintech solutions in a confined environment. For instance, the Fintech Supervisory Sandbox of the Hong Kong Monetary Authority is well loved and well used by banks. Through the sandbox, banks and partnering fintech firms are able to get together real-life data and user feedback on their new fintech-driven solutions more easily, so that they can make refinements to their proposed solutions as appropriate before full market launch. In just 2 years' time, 22 new technology products and services have been tested in Hong Kong MA's sandbox and have been rolled out to the market. I'm glad to see that fintech is bringing greater convenience to the public, as witnessed in the e-wallet market over the past few years. It all began in 2015 when the Payment Systems and Store Value Facilities Ordinance came into operation, which provided a clear and certain licensing and regulatory framework for store value facilities. With clarity and certainty in regulation, SVF's licensees commenced their safe and sound operations and have now developed a secure, efficient, and diversified electronic payment industry, laying a strong foundation for the development of e-wallet market. Alipayph Hong Kong certainly played a key role in the cause, as it is one of the first SVF licensees in Hong Kong. Healthy competition amongst strong SVP operators has led to innovations and new services such as electronic coupons, family group e-wallet management, online shopping insurance, and QR code payment, all to the benefit of the general public. It is therefore not surprising that the number of SVP accounts in use has jumped by 15.4% in just a year's time to 46.7 million by end 2017, while the value of of transactions increased by 27.7% to over 38 billion Hong Kong dollar. More exciting developments in Hong Kong are in the pipeline, with the launch of the faster payment system in September this year. This new financial infrastructure will provide full connectivity between banks, SVP operators, merchants, and consumers. Participating banks and SVP operators can provide real-time credit transfer and real-time direct debit services to facilitate payments between merchants and customers, as well as peer-to-peer transfers through the FPS platform. The Hong Kong MA is also working with the industry to explore how to enable merchants to use a single QR code for accepting mobile payments from different SVF operators. This is conducive to the wider adoption of QR code payment in Hong Kong and will enhance user experience. Ladies and gentlemen, an exciting new era of fintech awaits. The Hong Kong SAR government will continue to do its best as a promoter and facilitator for fintech companies in Hong Kong to grow and prosper. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Mr. Chan. Thank you, Mr. Chan, for that speech. And within his speech, he started off telling us one very important thing is that every day we are experiencing fintech breakthrough, particularly in Hong Kong, serving as Asia's financial hub. We, as regular people, we felt the impact of it every day, even minute by minute, so that as in our normal daily routine lives, we feel its impact and its convenience. Particularly my wife, she says Alipay helps her so much when it comes to grocery shopping and saves her a lot of money. Happy wife, I enjoy a happy life. So when we talk about fintech, we always think about mainland China. When we think about mainland China, we think about Alipay. Now, with Alipay came Ant Financial. Ant Financial has positioned itself as a tech company servicing micro enterprises and individuals. Now, what exactly do they do? The practical means has it applied to reach those goals? And to answer those questions, I would like to introduce the Executive Chairman and CEO of Ant Financial, Mr. Eric Chin, to come up on stage and answer those questions. Please welcome. 欢迎蚂蚁金服董事长兼首席执行官景贤栋先生为我们致辞。
尊敬的陈茂波司长
Honorable Secretary Chan, August Soban, Jack Ma, Frank John, Javier Ayala, Mr. Robbins, Michael Grace, Mr. Cook, and Tan, and the distinguished guests both in Hong Kong and Manila. Thank you very much. In the area of financial inclusion, we have made breakthrough. We are very pleased to have with us to witness together this launch of innovation. Blockchain-based, we realized the connectivity of between Hong Kong and Gcash in the Philippines. This is a blockchain-based remittance passport. It means that you can realize the fact that like you are doing that domestically. It is a safer, more transparent, and less time-consuming. That would be a major change here in Hong Kong. And this will greatly benefit the Filipino domestic helpers and other ordinary users. Today, the big screen, you just see Marsden Pond up there's the park. It comes from one rule and through the green codes. We hope that technology can be seen, felt, and used by every ordinary user. And through the technology innovation, different when people can realize more transparent and more efficient money transfer flow, so that what's behind the fintech can be spread. Changjuan is language Mandarin, and we have this project Changjuan, AEF, Alipayph, to bring happiness to everyone. Hope in the future we can expand this technology to more partners and NGOs, so that we can achieve the better level of accessibility of the global financial inclusion to benefit more users. Bring the world equal opportunities is our mission, and this mission can guide our direction of technology innovation. The past 14 years have been dedicated to serving the SMEs and the small and micro enterprises as well. AP's technology values like this can be summarized by the warm technology. We're dedicated to turn the technology more transparent, simpler, more trusted, and safer. I hope we can bring warmth to every merchant and user, and this vision, dreams, and value behind the technology can help more people. In blockchain, we are committed to these values. We have 3 do's and 3 don'ts. The do's are like, we use the blockchain to address the real issues of social value, so that the commerce and finance can become more transparent, more efficient, and more trustworthy. The second, we will use the blockchain to remove the technological barriers to ensure blockchain can be used in scenarios at large scale. Number 3, we work with partners to build an open blockchain ecosystem. 3 don'ts as follows. We don't engage in Aircoin of no real value. We do not engage in any behaviors that might undermine security and privacy of users' data, and we don't develop the technologies that are not in compliance with the laws and regulations. I think we believe now with the development process we should undertake more social responsibilities, bring more good. We should adopt the concept of the tech for good. Today we witness together the innovation technologies to facilitate the financial inclusion. This is our milestone event. I'd like to thank HKMA and the Central Bank of the Philippines and the relevant leaders for your vigorous support. Without it, all this is not possible. Thank you for your promotion of the global financial inclusion. SCB, thank you very much. G.K. Hutchison of Hong Kong, Iowa, and Philippines. Gcash, thank all of you. And committee, together we can work more for this vision. I'd like to thank my team as well. I believe that the smiles on the faces of my colleagues are a recognition of our hard work. In the future, I hope more partners will get involved in our effort to build open blockchain ecosystem and bring financial inclusion to every person across the globe and SMEs as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jin, for your speech. Now, in Mr. Jin's speech, he revealed today's press conference main purpose, and it's to introduce everybody with Ant Financial's latest technology, namely Tech for Good, which is the world's first blockchain-based remittance technology and e-wallet remittance. Now, in order for Ant Financial to push such technology for good out into the wide open, also in his speech he mentioned that nothing can be accomplished without the power and the help and cooperation from partners. So, in September 2017 in Hong Kong, Ant Financial announced that it has reached a strategic cooperation partnership with CK Hutchison. And together, they have pushed for a tailor-made for Hong Kong financial services and, of course, mobile payments. Now today, I would like to ask CK Hutchison Group Co-Managing Director and Chairman of Alipayph Payment Services Hong Kong Limited, Mr. Kenny Fuk, to come up on stage and give us a speech. Please welcome. 欢迎，多谢您的节目支持。
Mr. Prabhasan, I hope I pronounced it correctly, Mr. Jack Ma, and Eric, and all honorable guests. So on March the 8th, I was not here. I was in another hotel, our own hotel, to announce the start of the business at that time. And we have 1 million users already. But today, I'm very proud to announce our team, Alipayph Hong Kong team is working very well, and we have in excess of 1.5 million users. And also, we have more than 20,000 merchants. So I think the progress has been what they told me is on target. I think it's really good. And today, I think you heard a lot about blockchain and all those. I don't need today. I got to say it correctly because I'm not a tech guy. And we announced the launching of this cross-country digital wallet Remitance. That is to transfer money using the blockchain technology and with the help of the Gcash partnership and everything. So in Hong Kong, as we all understand, we have a large Philippine community, and then I think the number is approximately 200,000 people, and there's a huge money transfer between Hong Kong and Philippines. The amount, if we check, I think the figure that we come up with is 6 billion Hong Kong. So it's quite a lot of money. And now you've got to be very careful here because there's competition. Today I was told that Remitance, A is number one, high commission. Number two, there are time delay. All right. And then number three, there's a question about security. So that these are the items because YNs is a very technological savvy company. Alipayph Hong Kong is also a marketing company. So we got to serve our customer. So today with this new technology, and we can really help in the beginning our Philippine community to transfer money in a much cheaper way. And number two, very fast. You decide now, you can do it very fast. And number three, of course, very secure. So I hope that the customer, especially the Philippine community, will love this, and then you all become our users. All right. And last but not the least, I was told that this is only the beginning, and then the Alipay team will continue to establish this method, this payment method, transfer remittance methods to various other countries, so that we can serve our customer much better, and hopefully, in the not distant future, all you need is the mobile phone and use it free, of course. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Falk. Thank you so much. Mr. Falk mentioned in his speech there's 1.5 million users in Hong Kong, which roughly translates to 1 in every 5 person is using Alipay Hong Kong. Of course, Alipay has not just set its sights in Hong Kong alone. There's also, in February 2017, Ant Financial has also found strategic cooperation partnership with Globe and Ayala, and in the same year, in October, these 3 companies formulated Mint and pushed for an e-wallet Gcash, which is also Alipay in the Philippines. So now I'd like to welcome the President and CEO of Globe Telecom, founder of Gcash, Mr. Ernest L. Koo, to come up on stage and give us a speech. Welcome.
Our friends from Ant Financial, Jack, Eric, Doug, our chairman, my corporation, Jaime Augusto Valdea, Mr. Falk of Hutchison, and all the partners, Stan Chartered as well. On behalf of the Filipino community actually in the Philippines, I'd like to thank you to begin with for allowing the Philippines to be the first to use this very innovative and transparent technology called blockchain for remittance. You know, the OFW, as we call them, are overseas foreign workers in the Philippines. There's about 12 million of us who are actually working outside the country that bring in anywhere from 30 to 33 billion in terms of estimates, depending on who you believe, are actually considered heroes of our economy in the Philippines. They keep our economy stable year in and year out. They are a very dependable source of foreign input into our country, and they keep the economy stable. And yet there are roadblocks that are put up by way of how they send their money over to the Philippines. I think someone mentioned earlier today, Mr. Hawk mentioned the high commission rates, the unfavorable exchange rates, and not even counting the long lines that these overseas workers have to contend with. I'm sure people who live in Hong Kong, live in Singapore, do see every Sunday several parks filled with Filipino, Indonesian, whatever nationality of workers, and that's their only day off for the week. And if you were to empathize with them and think about them spending time in a line simply to send money home to their families in the Philippines, I think you really have to say that using e-money technology, using blockchain to reduce the cost, to speed the point of transfer, and to make it innovative and safer. In the Philippines, there's been too many of these incidences too, that once they withdraw the money in cash, they are held up on their way home and the money is lost. So it's a very difficult thing for the heroes of our economy in the Philippines. So, you know, I'm so happy that when we signed a deal with Ant Financial in February of 2017, that we had a very distinct alignment and objective of bringing financial inclusion to the Filipinos. So 70% of our countrymen today still don't have access to financial services, something we hope to solve. And since October, when we actually closed our deal and accelerated, we have now grown our base to 8 million users of our Gcash, 8 million accounts out of the 102 million. We have now surpassed the number of credit cards in the Philippines. There's only 3 million credit card holders. And the hope is that we go to the tens of millions of people that we can bring to financial inclusion. As they use our app, which is Gcash, or let's say the Alipayph version in the Philippines, we will be able to gather more data about them. We will be able to provide them a credit score. We'll be able to provide them access with multiple financial services within the app, and Remitance is just one of them. So once again, I really thank Ant for making this happen, and again, Hutchison and Alipayph Hong Kong for partnering with us to bring this very first and innovative technology to our country. We hope this is not the last, and certainly with the help of our regulators in the BSP or Bangko Sentral of the Philippines, we hope also that rules will be facilitated to enable financial inclusion to finally happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Koo, for your speech. And I'd just like to say that everybody here understands and can see in plain sight the immense contribution from these overseas foreign workers from the Philippines have in the Hong Kong society. I mean, I know on a personal level that I can see their contribution in my own household. So I hope that Ant Financial's new Tech for Good will help them feel even closer to home. Now, I'd like to welcome Alipay Payment Services Hong Kong Limited.
Thank you, Ernest, for your sharing. Good afternoon, Mr. Tabasa, Jack, Kenny, Eric, Frank, Douglas, fellow guests, and also media friends. It is a pleasure to welcome you all and thank you for joining us today. In Hong Kong, as Kenny mentioned, the Filipino community has a size of about 200,000. And we're talking about the Filipino expatriates. Actually, they account for about 5% of the total employed population in Hong Kong. This community actually take care of our children, our elderly, and also help to lighten the burden of Hong Kong families. Taking myself as an example, since the birth of my daughter, my domestic assistant actually took care of all the daily chores. And this allowed me to concentrate on my work. My experience, I think, is a familiar story for quite a lot of individuals here, especially working mothers. Usually, we are still expect to fulfill quite a lot of household duties along with our obligations in the workforce. And thanks to these domestic assistants, so they can allow us to devote ourselves to providing for our families. And I can confidently say that they are, as what Ernest said, they are heroes. They are actually, without question, an indispensable part of Hong Kong society. And these heroes, they not only travel far to work in Hong Kong, but they also need to leave their families and also their children behind. I can only imagine how tough a decision this must have been. But the promise of better quality of life and for their loved ones back home drives them to work here. So this is why, as what Ernest mentioned, that they use their days off to sending money home for their families. But the current existing process, the existing remittance process offered by the remittance outlets, still far from perfect. Firstly, there's the problem with time. Before starting the process of remitting money home, they actually maybe already need to spend an hour or more to get in the remittance outlets. Secondly, there's the consideration of exchange rate and transaction fee. That's why they may need to visit several remittance outlets to do the rates comparison. Understandably, they want to get the most out of their hard-earned money. And even in some cases, we know that they try to bypass this cumulative process. I talked with one of the Filipino expatriate in Hong Kong. She told me that she once tried to use an app to remit money, but her family could not get the cash. The reason is because the transaction failure. So without fully transparent tracking capabilities, new services which initially designed to make their life easier end up complicating their lives. And sending money home is not the only challenge. Talking about collection of the remittance, I once talked to one of the expatriates in Hong Kong. She told me that her brother need to take about an hour-long bus ride to a pickup point. And the success of the withdrawal is not even depend on whether her brother can get to the pickup point, but actually is whether that pickup point has enough cash on that day. So if he's lucky, the money's ready. If not, sorry, he needs to go home and then come back again. So you may say, oh, why don't they use banking service? I'm told that if he withdraw via a bank, normally that takes 1 to 2 business days. So you can imagine if they have urgent needs and a very short notice, actually it is a nightmare to them. In long ways, unfavorable exchange rates, high transaction fees, lack of transparency, and also cumbersome pick-up process. All these are issues constantly plaguing the Filipino community in Hong Kong. They have contributed a lot to the society, but yet little has been done for the protection and support of their hard-earned money. So in order to pay our respect to their contribution, we would like to resolve this by using our technology. So today, it is my pleasure to present our innovation that will enhance their remittance experience. By applying blockchain technology, we streamline the cumulative remitting process. So the process we are introducing will only take seconds from sender to receiver, from Alipayph Hong Kong to Gcash. And we will also provide them a highly competitive exchange rate. So we'll save them time to do all those rates comparison. In addition, there will be very low transaction fee. And during our pilot period, we actually waive the transaction fee. So what we want to is actually to make sure our user, they can have a nuisance-free remittance experience. And we are bound to provide them a safe and fast services. To ease the burden of the Filipino community in Hong Kong, it's just the first step. Actually, we work very hard. We'd like to expand the similar service to other countries. Thank you.